John Lusky of Lusky Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another broadhead by REK, R-E-K. Man, they've been making some really good stuff. I'm impressed with them. They've just come on in the last couple of years, and they have this fixed blade head called the FX4 that I'm going to be putting to the test. I tested it previously, but now they've made some improvements, and my regimen for testing has improved as well, so I thought I'd test them again. And so for the test, I'm going to be using my regimen for 2024. And for a detailed description of that, please check out the video I posted earlier this year called 2024 Broadhead Test Process. And it'll walk you through all the tests that I do, why I do them, how I quantify them, and so forth, and help you understand the scoring system and everything like that. And so for the shooting, I'm using my Elite Era compound bow. Awesome bow, and I'm using my Killer Instinct SWAT X1 crossbow for the flight testing, the accuracy testing, because it really does minimize the human error involved. All right, let's zoom on in here, check out some of the design features and specifications of this FX4, and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at the REK FX4. This is really a nice broadhead. I tested it a while back with my older protocol, and I've gotten a lot of requests to test it again. It performed really well if you want to check out that video, but I'm eager to test it again. So first of all, the materials, it's got an aluminum ferrule, but it's a 7075 aluminum ferrule. They used to use 6061. They upgraded it to 7075, which is considerably stronger. It's stronger than some steels. So if you're going to use aluminum, that's the way to go. And then the rest of it is steel. It's got this oversized steel tip. I really like this chunky steel tip, man. It puts a beating on whatever it hits. It's very good for splitting bone, really good for creating a wound channel that the arrow can just glide through with a lot less friction. So I like that hardened steel tip. And then you've got the blades. And the blades are stainless steel. They're 0.039 inches thick. So relatively thick blades right there. The overall cutting diameter in this dimension is 1 1/8, and then in this dimension is 3/4 of an inch. So the total cut is 1.875, which is the same as like a QAD Exodus that's 3-blade. It's interesting. It's the same total cut, but this has just got 4 blades to it and a little bit of a different configuration. So the length of the broadhead, it's pretty long, 1.71 inches. And that's what allows it to have a relatively gradual blade angle just to aiding in penetration. For resharpening, of course, these blades are replaceable, easily replaceable, but for resharpening, if you want to resharpen it, I'd use the Stay Sharp Guide replaceable blade sharpener. That would work really well with this broadhead. So really eager to put it to the test and see how it performs. The FX4 got the 9 rate. It only took 119 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus a bonus for being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated 8.5 inches. It took an additional 98 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is an 8.04 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 53 layers, which is a 7.57 on a 10-point scale. It's in perfect shape after the 3 shots through the MDF. Here it is after the 2 shots through the steel plate, and you can see the tip got a little bit blunted there, kind of a little bit of a rollover, and then a couple of the blades got a slight bit of edge chatter, really not much, but a slight bit there. So it got a 9 on a 10-point scale. And then you see the holes. It's really interesting. They're like a really big round hole, and then with 4 slits coming off of them. Not like a big square punch, yet it is a decent sized hole because of that oversized tip. here it is after all the durability testing, and man, it just did so well. You can barely tell the blades have been shot at all. And that tip is just a beast. Got a little bit of a bend in the nose there, but man, it just held together extremely well. Still spins great. So what'd you think? Man, I tell you, this is just a good broadhead. If you're looking for a good, solid, fixed blade head, man, this might be the one you're looking for. There's just so many cool things about it, and it always performs better than I think it's going to perform. I mean, it flies well, it's sharp, has good edge retention to it, penetrates relatively well. It's got a little bit smaller cut size than some fixed blade heads, but still decent, bigger than some as well. Kind of a good mid-range. And man, it's just so durable. That extra tip just makes it so durable, but the blades as well. So really doesn't have a big weakness. You check out the score sheet and you see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if this might be a good fit for you. And stay tuned for a summary of those scores. You can find more detailed scores in the description below the video or behind the video, but I give a summary in a slide, as well as stay tuned for the overall score and the cumulative score and the corresponding Lusk grade. And then also stay tuned for the last slide is a list of all the discount codes that I have, just to try to save you some money in buying any broadheads or outdoor gear. And I have a growing list, so check them out. And I update that list as often as I can, but I can't change the video, so I update it in the video description. So if you just look in the video description of any of the videos this year, then you'll be able to see all the discount codes that I have. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Well done, REK. Look forward to seeing more of your stuff in the future, and look forward to seeing all of you next time.